Hello, hello, hello. What is up, everybody? Let's see. Elemental Bot, Tate Blaze, Korean Jindo, Queen Sarabi. Who else is in the chat? Angela Smith, hello. Wow, what a day, what a day, what a day. Who else is in the chat? Say what's up if you're in the chat, if you're live, if you're here, if you're ready to rumble. Say hello. Hello, Ian, Cole, Rondi, Andrew, and Pinchy, Tate Blazer. Wow, now it's going too fast. I can't read it. Eric, Michael, Cynthia, Suzanne. Wow, what a day. My dad's prediction is in. The 13 keys to the White House. The prediction is in. The New York Times released it. We released it on my dad's YouTube channel. Kamala Harris is heading for a win. Trump is out of here. And again, this is not an endorsement. This is not based on my dad's political leanings. When he predicts his 13 keys, he takes his political bias out of it. Harris is coming for a win. MAGA, I'm sorry, MAGA, I apologize. You guys are done for. You guys are done for. It's Kamala to the win. If you didn't check out my dad's stream or you just want to see it again, here was his quote-unquote soft call, which was a 9-4 Harris win. Midterm gains key, false. Primary contest, true. Incumbent key, false. Third party, short-term economy, long-term economy, policy change, social unrest, and scandal key, all true. The two keys that are a little bit undecided are the foreign policy keys. The failure key is likely false. The foreign success is likely true. Charismatic incumbent is false. And uncharismatic challenger is true. But it doesn't matter if it's, 8-3-2, 8-5, 9-4, whatever it is. It's a Harris win, guys. It doesn't matter. Don't be like, it's 8-3, it's 5, it's a Harris win. That's locked in. No matter what these final keys do, the Harris win is locked in. Dominic Natoli says, I made a $500 bet on Kamala. Show me the money. Hey, everybody here is hoping you're going to win that. Wow, what a day. Amazing response, amazing love from everybody. We appreciate that from all of you. Terry Green says, like you said, Sam, let the haters hate. Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. The biggest criticism I've seen is obviously the 2016 thing. My dad's explained that 1,000 times. Gore really won. In 2016, he picked the winner. A lot of people say the keys are subjective. I think today we answered that question pretty clear. The keys are not subjective. In fact, they're actually based on extreme historical precedent, and have very clear criteria. So, yeah, let the haters hate. The trolls were less than usual. Okay, that's good on my dad's stream. MR Hansrush says, what's up, Sammy? Watching from Australia. Let freedom reign in the USA. Kamala for the win. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend like my dad. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I don't want Donald Trump to win. Donald Trump is the worst. Kamala Harris, not my favorite candidate ever, but hey, super happy that according to the system, she's headed for a win. Thoughts on Nate Silver giving 60% chance of winning? I don't give much thought to Nate Silver these days. The foreign success keys are subjective. If they weren't, your dad would be able to call them by now. They're not subjective. The reason why he's not able to call them is not because they're subjective, because two wars are currently raging. It's kind of hard to call foreign military and failure keys when two wars are currently raging, right? Sam, had Biden stayed in the race, would he have won? Did your dad say? He did not say. He would not answer that question. Hello, Veos. Shout out to the Discord. Do the keys reflect how close it may be? No, they do not. Dr. Ash just gifted 10 memberships. Dr. Ash, you're the best. I love Dr. Ash. Will there be social unrest if Trump is sentenced to prison? I do not believe so. We've talked about that on my dad's stream. He's called for people to show up to his court cases. He's already been found guilty. No social unrest. doesn't have a big enough base to cause social unrest that would cause any sort of key flipping event. Let's see here. Do you plan on live streaming a reaction to the debate on Tuesday? That is the plan for now, yes. Angela Smith says, Sam, we're going to break the glass ceiling here. Man, that would be incredible. What a great day, right? You know? I mean, you know, it's not over till it's over. Like my dad said in the New York Times video, we have to make sure, not we, but just Americans, no matter who you're voting for, just make sure you're out there and you're voting. Am I excited for Ravens football? Are you excited for football starting? Go Ravens. I'm very excited. I'm currently recording the game. So please, for the love of God, no Ravens game spoilers in the chat. For the love of God, no spoilers. But yeah, make sure, again, no matter who you're voting for, no matter who your family's voting for, make sure people are getting out and voting, checking their registration. And then on the flip side of things, like my dad said, volunteer at your local poll bank. Donate to certain causes that are making sure our election is free and fair. There are lots of things that still need to happen for Harris to win. Just because my dad said she's going to win doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be the president. Don't forget that. Sam, is there a YouTube video where your dad predicted the 2016 win for Trump? I don't know if there's a YouTube video, but there is a video by the Washington Post, which is still available online. I've watched it before. So yeah. Kevin says, I just got hired as a poll clerk for my county. I just have to take a training class on Tuesday and I'll be good to clerk for early voting and election there. There you go. There's Kevin doing his due diligence. And you know, even if you're not worried about voter interference or, you know, sketchy stuff happening behind the scenes, it's just a good thing to do for your country. To donate your time for the election, you know? Rondi, I said no Ravens spoilers. I just said that. God damn. Kevin says it also looks great on your resume and you get paid for it. There you go. You get paid and you can put it on your resume. Have we locked in the election week schedule of live streams? Will there be 2 or 3? No, I think we were just trying to get past this goalpost, this prediction dead goalpost, and we'll figure stuff out from there. I need to sleep. My dad needs to sleep. Probably next week, couple weeks, we'll start thinking about that. Sam, how well in advance did your dad know his prediction? Do I want to answer that? Not super far ahead. Maybe like, I think after the DNC he knew. Like when he initially said, I think after the DNC he knew. The issue was that New York Times pushed the publishing date. Yeah. Sam, how often do you and your dad do these videos? We post now almost every day. Our lives are Tuesdays and Thursdays. What news channel in the mainstream media other than CNN or New York Times will Allan Lichtman be doing? I don't know. I don't know what his schedule is like. He's probably, he's already done 12 interviews today, so he's probably going to be all over the place. Go Lions. I like the Lions. When is your dad's prediction coming? Patrick, is that a joke? Are you looking at the screen? I broke 500 viewers today. Heck yeah. Thank you all for watching. Can you apply the keys to see if the Ravens win today? I think you can maybe make a key system maybe on Super Bowl winner. I was a bit confused why the Times skipped the foreign policy keys. I think they were worried to say that they were likely true or likely false. So they just were like, let's just say they're undecided and say Harris is going for a win. I think it was just a act of like, we don't want to confuse our viewers who don't understand the keys very clearly, so they just skip them. On our channel, we know that people have a better base of understanding, so we just went with the likely predictions. Did you guys see you got 100,000 subscribers? Yes, we did, and we're pumped. Philip H says, hey there, Sam, look who's in the lead at halftime. Guys, no Ravens spoilers. God damn. I'm almost at 5K subscribers. Heck yeah. Thank you all. If you're not subscribed, If you're here for the first time, please subscribe. Please like this video. Who handles Allan's PR? Nobody. He doesn't have a PR person. He does it himself, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, I mean, in times like this, like on a day-to-day basis, you know, when it's not an election year, you know, he doesn't really need one. But like, yeah, in this time, the fact that he hasn't had one, he's getting run a little bit ragged. Please, what does it mean the New York Times pushed the publishing date, assuming I heard it right? So my dad, I think, was ready to call the keys on right after the DNC. Once he saw that there was no major social unrest at the DNC, he could lock in that key 8, and he was ready to call it. The issue was the New York Times was like, we don't want to make a big Allan Lichtman announcement before Labor Day. People aren't tuned into the news. They're on vacation. Let's wait till after Labor Day. Pretty simple. Did you see the Bulwark show? I watched part of it. It was just, honestly, the parts that I saw was a bunch of nonsense, the same old stuff. You know, it's subjective. He's just making decisions off the top of the head, which is, we all know is not true. I might do a response video to them on my channel. My dad's not gonna get involved in like the YouTube back and forth, but let me see. Let me make a poll. Do you want me to subscribe? Not subscribes. Do you want me to make a response video to, what are they called? Bulwark. How do I talk to my daughter about politics because she's in the cult? I'm guessing you mean the MAGA cult. I would say try to expose her to content that, like my dad's content or other content that is objectively critical to Trump. Try that first. Would you ever consider volunteering as a poll worker in the future? I would, yes. You should make a response video with your father. We did that whole jank thing and he just didn't like it. I don't think he's going to want to keep doing these YouTube back and forth, which is fine with me. Bulwark is some political YouTube channel. They've got about 500,000 subscribers. What stadium did they film the video at? I'm not sure. I have no idea. If you don't know, they filmed my dad at the Senior Olympic qualifying event, and I don't know where they were exactly. Somewhere in Maryland. Am I going to work as a poll worker this year? Probably not, because I live in California right now, but I still vote in Maryland. So unless I switch my registration soon, which I'm not sure if I'm going to do or not yet. Did New York Times ask about the 2016 confusion? They already know about it. The producer of it already knows about that. She knew about it in 2020. Also, Brooke needs votes. That's a good point. That's why I should vote in Maryland. My permanent address is still in Maryland. Sam, would you and your dad be up for playing a drinking game on election night? Probably not, given the fact that I don't drink and my dad doesn't really drink, and he probably needs his wits about him to give good political analysis. Why does your dad keep saying he's going out on a limb when he says he has confidence in his scientific system? Because most people get percentages or likelies or leans or just rely on the polls, where his is definitive, a win or a loss. That's why. If you were able to develop a prediction model, what would it be? Probably UFC and boxing. I would like to develop a prediction model based off UFC and boxing. Sam, are you going to in the future take over the key system? Talked about this a million times. I don't believe so. I don't have any educational background in history, political science, the president, statistical analysis, none of that. I'm a communications major, so. Now my question, if your dad is wrong, will he adjust his 13 keys? Maybe, I don't know. I don't think he's really thought much about that. I think maybe he'll just retire. Maybe he'll hand them off to somebody else and they'll adjust them. Maybe he'll adjust them. Those are probably the most likely scenarios. Wow, I have 577 people watching. That's a record for Sammy Licht here, for the Lichtman Live post show. You know, we just chill, we hang out here. You know, it's a more chill vibe out here. Is your dad interviewing new successors? I think at this point, he's just worried about this election, and once this election is over, maybe he'll start thinking about that. You know what I mean? Has your father ever worked with another historian to see if they arrive at the same conclusion after using the keys? I'm not sure. I mean, he's definitely worked with plenty of historians on other, like FDR and the Jews, a book of his he co-wrote with another historian. But I'm not sure if specifically the keys he's ever, collaborated with another historian on. Maybe one of his former students should take over, maybe, yeah. Coke or Pepsi? Neither. Sprite. Sam, do you think Harris will win? Honest truth, bro. Yes, I do think Harris will win. I said that before my dad's prediction even came out. I've been saying that forever. If you've been watching the post show, I've been saying she's going to win by a landslide. So what impact do you think Russia will have this election? I don't know. I mean, they're constantly trying to, reach their hand in the cookie jar and muddy the waters. How much will that affect an individual American's vote? I don't think enough to change the election, but I wouldn't put anything past them. Secretary of State Andrew says, I am a future student of his. I claim the mantle of keys predictor. There you go. Secretary of State Andrew claimed it. Phantom Earth says, watching from Australia, I've been telling my mates about the keys and they're excited to watch Trump lose. Yeah, I'm excited to watch Trump lose too. Dude, that guy sucks, dude. Do you think Trump will run again if he loses? Nah, I think he's going to be too old. We'll see what happens. Like, if he loses too, he's going to have to face his legal challenges head on. And, dude, that's going to be the time, energy, and just wear and tear that's going to put on that guy. I mean, it's going to be rough for him. I don't think he's going to have it in him to run again. Ezra Kirkpatrick, thank you for the donation. 0% record versus 100%, or 90% depending on 2000. I only care about it who's proven right. Your dad has an impressive record, so are you proud of him? How much? I'm very proud. I agree. Right, he's either 100% or 90%, which is pretty damn good. And yeah, I'm super proud of him. Like 10 out of 10, I'm proud of him. Agent Grady says, so if a woman brings you into World War III, advances American imperialism, invades the DPRK, and commits war crimes, then it's okay, plus her record of mass incarceration and profiting from prison labor. Last time I checked, we're not in World War III. I mean, advances American imperialism, I don't really know what you mean by that. And I mean, that's a problem with every president who's ever existed in America. Invades Korea? What are you talking about? Commits war crimes? I don't believe she's been charged with any war crimes. That's my answer to that question. Did you see any of the MAGAs crying on X after your dad made his predictions? Some were pretty funny to see. No, I didn't see. It would be pretty funny. They're just gonna, say he's wrong and he's a joke, and I guess we'll just have to see, Do you think more celebrities should run for president for the charisma key, or do you think that's a bad idea? I think that's a horrible idea. I do not like celebrities controlling our political landscape. Who's my favorite UFC fighter? Israel Adesanya. Vincent Valentine says, breaking, Kamala invades North Korea. Yeah, like, what is that? Invades the DPRK? Like, what? Should do a clip show of idiot critics. That would be pretty funny. Who is your least favorite critic of your dad since he has so many? I don't know. I don't really rank them in my head. Sam, were you skeptical of your dad's prediction in 2016? Not really. I kind of felt like the writing on the wall too, especially with like the huge split in the Democratic Party between Clinton and Bernie. Like, I remember a lot of my friends being very militant about that, and I just remember being like, "Yo, this could end up really badly." So I wasn't that skeptical of it. No. The real Copelia says, the people most effectively exposing Trump's absurdities are Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and Jimmy Kimmel. This is why we always need our court jesters. Good point. Sebas Luzon says, Sam from Canada, hello from Canada. Is your dad and yourself aware about the Apprentice movie? If so, do you guys believe it will be the big October surprise? Why would it be the big October surprise? I'm aware of it. I just don't understand, because there's going to be something revealed in it that nobody knows. I don't think a movie is going to be an October surprise, but I don't know. Did you see that Trump wants to appoint Elon Musk to his cabinet? Yeah, I did see that. Just a lot of rich guys running our country. Kind of sucks. But he's going to lose, so it doesn't matter. Philip H. sent me $2 because you had to read the last message. Love that. Thank you, Philip. As a communication major, do you have any thoughts on the upcoming debate? I think Kamala's going to crush him. That's what I think. Does Vance creep you out? Yes, he does. John to Emily transition vlog says, I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. I was too, but I still thought that at a certain point it was time to let Bernie go. Sam, how did you feel about Biden when he was still in the race? I felt good about him. I thought he was going to win. But as long as Trump loses, that's all that matters to me personally. Allan says the system of keys are not biased, but Allan himself is very biased towards the Democrats. Yes, everybody you see on CNN, in the White House, everybody in politics has their own lean. It's impossible not to have your own lean. But he doesn't call the keys based on that lean. Rick Evans says there's a sexual assault scene in The Apprentice that's pretty shocking. I just don't see how a fictionalized movie is going to change voters, but I could be wrong. What was the most memorable October surprise to you? I don't know. Sam, just curious to know who funds you guys. The people. We only get money from, at least as of now, we've only gotten money from donations, memberships, and watch page ads. That's it. We don't have any outside funding as of today. I don't know. I'm just saying that because it might change, but as of today, we don't have any outside funding. What advice would you give to incoming communication majors? Try a little bit of everything within communications. Try a little journalism. Try a little film and media, because, and especially in communications this day and age, you need to be a jack of all trades. You need to know how to write press releases. You also need to know how to interview somebody. You also need to know how to edit video. So do a little bit of everything. Agent Greatest, I was not wrong about Kamala's record of mass incarceration either, and he didn't address that. All right, well, I'll address that. I don't know about this idea of mass incarceration. I know she was a pretty tough attorney general. I can't confirm or deny, and I don't know what the threshold is for mass incarceration. That was also a long time ago. Sam, if you guys get this wrong for Kamala, will you still go live after the election? One step at a time. One step at a time. Secretary of State Andrew says, I'm concerned for Kamala's second term. She likely will lose the policy change key, and she lost the charisma key. She can only lose 3 more keys and still win in 2028. I think I've said this before, like, while this Biden out move, Harris in move was probably good for this election, probably, it could set up problems for 2028, no doubt. You guys should get a Manscaped sponsor like every other podcast. Yeah, we should. I don't know why I still have my headphones on. I only need those for my dad, and then I get hot. Man, it's been, in Los Angeles today, it was like 107 degrees. It was so freaking hot. Like, I don't think I've ever been outside I don't think I've ever been in a scenario where it's that hot, especially with that dry heat. Dude, it felt like my skin was sizzling. It was nuts. Everyone's asking how the keys are doing, but no one's asked how Sam's doing. Thank you, Vincent. I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little tired. Like I said, I was up till 3:30 last night and then up at 9 for work this morning. So I'm a little tired, but I'm good overall. I'm pumped overall. Susie K says, we'll make a bold prediction here. So Harris will win North Carolina and Florida. I think she will win North Carolina as well. I'm not as convinced about Florida, but it's close. Cole Polkbeck says, did you notice that men aged like 18 to 22 are supporting Trump? But my guess is because they make themselves look cool. Yeah, I'm actually surprised about the amount of guys I meet who are younger to my age who are Trump supporters, but it doesn't matter because, well, it does matter, but I don't think it's going to affect the election. Do you think Texas goes blue in a best case scenario? I don't think Texas goes blue. The Keggy asks, if you got offered a YouTube boxing fight against someone like Jake Paul, would you take it? Absolutely. Are you kidding? Dude, that's a lot of money, and I've been boxing for like 5 years, so I'm ready, dude. Jake Paul, we got 5,000 subscribers. Let's go. I actually think Jake Paul is actually, as a person who likes fighting and likes UFC, MMA, and boxing, Jake Paul is actually a very good fighter. Do the amount of keys turned not determine the victory margin? They do not usually. Sam, what about Georgia? Win or lose? That's a blue state, in my opinion. Will Cruz hold? God, I hope not. Cole says, I think Texas and Florida will be close, but I still think Trump wins those states. That's kind of my sentiment as well. Sam, was your dad one of your professors in college? He was not. No, I never took one of my dad's classes. MSNBC says it's going to come down to PA and Georgia. Thoughts? I think mostly PA. If she wins Wisconsin, Michigan, PA, I think she's pretty much good to go. Lori Bass says, Sam, what? Just because your dad says she'll win doesn't mean she'll be president? What? I'm just saying other things could happen. There could be election interference. There could be Supreme Court cases. There could be issues with state-by-state voting. I'm not saying that she's not going to win. I'm saying there could be nefarious acts afoot. Kevin says, I think the Atlanta metro area is going to come out strong for Harris, speaking as a resident there. I agree. Nihiro Chan says, I hope Cruz holds D's nuts. That was funny. We need to clinch PA for Harris, definitely. I just saw a news feed saying Putin will back Harris and will consider talks with Ukraine. With this military success, he turned solid blue. That happened, I guess. What do you mean by Putin will back Harris? I don't know what that means. But if there are peace talks in Ukraine and there is peace without giving up Ukrainian territory, I mean, that would be a gigantic win. Which state do you think might be a surprise flip this election? North Carolina. I think that's going blue. Do you think the Democrats will hold the Senate? I don't have a good answer to that. I haven't been following it closely. Poor thing, you look so tired. Do I look that tired? Cameron Kerr, no Ravens spoilers. God damn it, Cameron. I'm recording the game, guys. No Ravens I'm going to pin this to the chat. No Ravens spoilers. Damn it, Cameron. Damn it, Cameron, you get a 1 minute timeout for that. 80 Mart says Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. Which ones go blue? I think definitely Georgia and Nevada. I'd do it in this rank: Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. Thank you, Robert Ratz. I appreciate that. Why do the right wing and left wing exist? I'm not really sure how to answer that question. Why do they exist? I mean, they've always existed throughout the history of political history. Even before America even existed, there have been far right conservative people and probably more I don't know. They've always existed. It's just part of human nature. I don't really know how to answer that question. Killa Z2. I'm not going to answer that question. Sam, your dad is my new favorite historian. Well, thank you, Matthew Green. I forgive you, but what was that? I forgive you, but that East Coast pronunciation of Nevada. What is it? Nevada? How do you pronounce it? Camille says left and right is a simplification of party and governing dynamics. Doesn't exist everywhere in the world. Really? It doesn't? Are you sure? Who's winning the Super Bowl this year? My Ravens. My Baltimore Ravens. What are the chances of Republicans splitting into two parties, with one being more Trumpism and one being more traditional? Unlikely, because that would just weaken Republicans. I don't think they'd want to do that. Have you heard of MAGA influencer and polar Shaney Rich? I have not. Let's change the subject. What's your favorite flavor of buffalo wings? Buffalo. That's my favorite flavor of buffalo wings is buffalo. Keyzilla's East. Chill with the money questions, all right? I'm not going to go into my dad's personal finances. I don't even know what they are, to be honest with you. Will Democrats hold the House seat in Alaska? Latest poll showed Peltola up by 1. Plus, are you confident that Kamala will win Bucks County and Erie County? I think, yes, Democrats will hold their House seat. Bucks County and Erie County I'd have to look into. I don't know. Where did they go last year? Bucks County 2020 presidential election. What is this? I hope this is simple and not like... Is there an easy graphic I can look at? I can't. I'm out. Allan Lichtman revives himself by swimming in a Scrooge McDuck vault full of money coins. Guys, my dad's a professor, okay? Like, let's chill out a little bit. Will I be watching Beetlejuice 2? Maybe. How are the reviews of that? How do you see Gen Z voting? Big turnout, small voting Harris. I mean, look, young people, the turnout is almost always disappointing. So I think they are going to disappoint. I don't think the voter turnout's going to be anything crazy, but I think they're going to be overwhelmingly voting for Kamala when they do vote. Reviews of Beetlejuice 2 are looking good. All right, if the reviews are good, I will check it out. It's funny. What's my favorite ice cream flavor? I think almost every stream someone asks me what my favorite ice cream flavor is. Raspberry chocolate chip. Cole Edwards says, big shout out to you and your dad. Given all the unprecedented events of this election, do you think there is a higher risk of a Florida 2000 if there were five false? Would they increase those odds? I don't think we're going to see something like Florida in 2000. There are going to be some states that are going to be like extremely close, but there's going to be so many that I think Kamala will keep blue, like Wisconsin, Michigan, PA, Georgia, North Carolina, that the Trump team won't have even the resources to do anything about it. You know what I mean? What are they called? Why are they called keys? I don't know. Just like keys to the White House, like getting into the White House. A little bit of a visual type picture there. What's my favorite type of food? Mexican, Italian, Chinese. My two favorite cuisines are Korean and Indian food. Have you read the Keys to the White House before? I have not read the book. No, I haven't. But I have done. Maybe I have. Actually, I might have read like the 2020. I think I did read the 2020 edition. Actually, now that I think about it, before it went to print, my dad sent me a copy to be like, just hey, look this over. But I do have an extensive understanding of each key based off of my dad and just studying them online and all that jazz. You don't need to read the book. Your father is a book. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, I don't know. I kind of know them. I've known them since I was a little kid. I don't know if I need to read the book. Sam, post the Amazon link to your dad's book. Just go to Amazon and type in 13 Keys to the White House. It should be right there. What kind of inspiration do you have for getting people, especially young people, 18 to 35, to vote every election? I think one of the big issues is people don't think their votes matter because they're hyper-focused on the political election. They think, I live in a blue state, I live in a red state, my vote doesn't matter. But that's not true because you also vote in local elections, you vote for the House, you vote for the Senate, which is much more in flux in the presidential race. So saying that your vote doesn't matter isn't true. I think a lot of people think that, our politics are full of establishment politicians. No matter who I vote for, it's the same. But that's not true. And we've seen that quite evidently recently with things like Roe versus Wade being overturned. I mean, in the Hillary Clinton administration, that would not have happened, period. So those are my two thoughts. Would you ever consider Would you and your dad ever consider doing a Q&A on the Reddit or Discord? Yes, we would consider that. Will your dad make a movie about his life? We talked about that last Lichtman Live post show. Check that out. Your power is in your vote. I agree. I think maybe young people, though, get like, they turn their nose up at cliches like that because they say like, oh, I don't really have power, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, you might as well take the little bit of power you have. Even if you don't think voting gives you that much power and the status quo is the status quo, it's like, you might as well take the power that you got. Because if you don't, you're just letting that float to the, cutting room floor. Yes, my dad will be on CNN at 11 with Laura Coates, he said. You confident John Tester will win? I don't really, I haven't been following his race too closely. Do you like money? What is it with all these money questions? What kind of question is that? Do you like money? Like, how do you answer that question? Sam, are you going to play Resident Evil again? Would recommend it to others. Yes, I will play again. Are you still friends with people you were friends with in high school? I am, yes. Not everybody, obviously, but my closest friends, yes. Have you always voted down ballot? Yes. I mean, I can't say 100% I've voted every single down ballot election ever, but I don't think I've ever just voted for president. Which was better, high school or college? They're sort of hard to compare. They're so different. My daughter wants to build a house in Minecraft for you and your dad. She'll put 13 banners in it to represent the keys. That's awesome. Did you grow up in Maryland? I'm an avid follower of your dad. I did grow up in Maryland. Sammy, do you think the PGA has become politicized because Trump is a big golfer? I think everything's politicized now, pretty much. Who's my favorite Democrat president and Republican president? My favorite Democratic president is FDR. My favorite Republican president is Lincoln. Do you think Angela Alsobrooks will win the Senate race for Maryland? I do believe she will win. Do you support Medicare for all or Obamacare? I sometimes hate answering these questions because I feel like these questions need so much thought and nuance and discussion, and I just don't know if I can answer them that quickly. Sam, what was your MFA thesis about? Here, I'll share it with you all. I've done this before, but if you feel like watching my films, I do make short films. Let's see, where is it? Here. Here's my, it's just a little archive of my two short films that I've done. There it is. There it is. Jay Sue says, thank you for the keys, Harris Wells 2024. Yeah, hopefully, I know I've been getting a lot of messages. I know my dad has too, about people losing sleep, being anxious about it. Well, hopefully this relieves your anxiety a bit, right? Van Composer says, I compose music for a film for a living. Well, hit me up. Miles Wolf says, will you be my chief of staff? Yes. Any plans to dye your hair blonde? No. That's such a random question. Your dad says campaigning doesn't really matter, but would you agree that campaigning would go towards the charisma key if you're a charismatic candidate? No, not necessarily. You could be a really charismatic candidate, but raise less money, but lose a debate, et cetera, et cetera. It's possible. The prediction means nothing if you don't go out and vote. That is correct, Ryan K. That is correct. Watching Sammy on my phone and Laura Courts to watch her dad being interviewed. Coming up. Yay. Nice. What time is he? He should be coming up soon. Your dad says debates don't affect elections, but the last debate flipped the incumbency key. That's true. That is true. I guess maybe it would be more accurate to say they very, very rarely affect elections. Who's my favorite superhero? Batman. Will you stream on election night? I believe we are, yes. Hey, still can't view, so if you can read my question, this is from D. Rabbit White. Could you recommend which book about the 13 Keys by your dad is the one that explains how the system works and can be used in the future? I would just buy the newest edition. They all do that, but just buy the newest edition. Did you see Bulwark go off on your dad? Yes, it was a bunch of nonsense. I might respond. The poll people wanted me to just respond, so. Is your full name Sam, Sanford, or Salamander? What are you on tonight, Miles? Is your dad's interview going to be broadcasted on CNN's YouTube channel? Rick, I got no idea. I do not have any idea what the internal publishing discussions are at CNN. Best president we've ever had? FDR. Lincoln. Do you think your dad's interview on CNN will be disliked bombed by MAGA? Who cares? What do you think about Republicans' attack on Tim Walz? Do you think any of them have any merit? I mean, the ones that have merit are like just the shit that he said that just wasn't true. I mean, that has merit. That still is a little strange to me how he's just said stuff that just like isn't true. I mean, they're not huge lies like the IVF thing and the going to battle thing. Like, you know, he was in the National Guard. They did do some sort of fertility treatment, but it is a little weird. I think that's perfectly valid. I don't like that he did that or said those things. Am I an iPhone or Android person? I use an iPhone. Do I think Tim Walz will run in 2032? Probably not. But he just like feels like the perfect VP. I can't really picture him as president, but there's a long way till then. But he'll also be like in his 70s then too, a little older. Will this country turn more Republican because of population loss in the north and population gains in the south, which equates to electoral votes shifting to the southern states? I still think most southern states are really low in population, though. I mean, what are you talking about? Like population rates in Mississippi and Alabama are rising. I don't think that's going to shift the election much. And, you know, states like California and New York, I mean, they're always going to have huge populations. I don't think that's going to change. What could be worse, Trump or Carrie Lake as president? That's a good question. Probably Carrie Lake. She seems a little bit more off her rails and a little bit more willing to, like, go full on crazy, you know? Sam, how do you feel about the Electoral College? I don't love it. I think there should be one person, one vote. The winner wins. I texted 10 people at your dad's projection day. All 10 ignored me. Well, maybe they were busy. Sam, do you support legal weed or medical weed? Both. Both? I don't think people should be arrested for weed. I also don't think people should be smoking weed just like in public either. There should be some like open smoking laws about it too, but I don't know. That'll never be enforceable. Like I do like the idea of legalizing drugs and stuff like that, but I don't like the idea of like just like, in Los Angeles, it happens like you just have people doing drugs all over the place out in the open air, and it's just not right. But I also don't agree with throwing people in prison for drugs. But I do believe there should be some consequences for using drugs in public. Natalie Edelstein says, just got in-flight Wi-Fi and turning into the post-show live from up in the air. Well, gotta love to hear it. We're 10,000 feet in the air now, baby. We used to just be on the ground. Now we were global, but now we're atmospheric. 80 Mart says, learn your dad's system. You don't need all the history knowledge. Just understand the system so you succeed him in the future, and we'll see you on the New York Times. But you do need that historical knowledge because it is based on precedent, and you need to have a really robust understanding of history to be able to call the keys accurately, despite what the haters say. Thank you, Sean Sobleski, for the kind words. Can a president sign an executive order to change the election to popular vote instead of electoral? I don't think so, because it's in the Constitution. I don't think an executive order can change the Constitution. Sammy Lichtman, a.k.a. Mr. Worldwide. Let's go. How will the migration from northeastern states affect the election in the future? Whoa, how will the migration from northeastern states, so like Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, is that what you're saying? Again, those states are always going to be full of people. I don't think, you're talking about like a mass exodus out of those states to like, Tennessee to make a difference, I don't really see that happening. Yeah, people are moving out of California, people are moving to Texas or Florida, but like not at the rates that's going to disrupt our political system, I don't think. Ian, thank you for the kind words. Cali has the largest population of Republicans in the U.S. Yeah, that's the thing. When you're talking about states with the population of California, 10,000, 20,000 here and there leaving is not making a dent in that state. I want to see Walz versus RFK Jr. I don't want to see that at all. You mean in a debate, or you mean in the next presidential, like in 2032? I don't. Would you ever react to news stories people post on the Discord channel? I would be. What do you mean by that exactly? Just like going through the Discord? There would have to be some special channel for me to, because I can't scroll through. There's so much discussion on the Discord. D-Rabbit, why? I don't know what kind of technical issues you're having. I don't quite understand. I'm sorry. Walz Vance debate is boring. Yeah, it'll probably be pretty boring. Lily says Walz Vance will be hilarious. Probably a mixture of both. There'll be some just like laugh out loud moments, and most of it will be boring. I could see both of them just saying weird shit. Ian says, in the last election, we had to wait until Saturday for the official declaration. Hopefully, it'll take 24 hours this time. Me too. I don't want to wait around for that. And I feel like the more you wait around for it, the more people will just go like, wait, election fraud. this is sketchy, you know, and it's just like, I'm just so sick and tired of those people. I saw Elon Musk today say, or not today, I don't know when, recently say that because of no voter ID and mail-in voting, it's impossible to prove election fraud. So we're supposed to believe him that there is election fraud, even though he can't prove it because of these other factors. So we're just supposed to take his word for it. And it's like, so we're just supposed to believe this rich man who has all this power and influence. He's going, there's election fraud. It's like, okay, how do you know? He's like, well, I can't prove it because of all these other factors. Just trust me. I mean, it's just absurd. And it's just terrible for our country. It just pisses me off that he has so much power and influence. And he wields it so willy-nilly. Again, it's just like, oh, there's election fraud. Can you prove it? No, but that's because I'm blaming it on this and this and this. It's like, so I'm just supposed to trust you and believe you that there's election fraud. Why doesn't Allan give a shout out to the YouTube channel on CNN? He just forgets, I think. Sammy, do you have a Hollywood agent? I don't, but if you know one, hook me up. What are your thoughts on the mic rule for Tuesday debate? Each candidate's mic will be muted. If it's not, their turn to talk. I think that helps Trump a lot. I think it helped him last debate a lot too. It just keeps him from saying crazy shit and from looking like a bully. So I think it helps him, honestly. So his source is trust me, bro. Exactly. Yeah, that's Elon's source. We can't prove election fraud because of there's no voter ID and there's mail-in vote, which is not even true. I mean, even the premise of that is wrong. You could still prove election fraud even if there's no voter ID, even if there's mail-in voting. It is still possible to prove election fraud. But he's saying it's impossible. Just trust me, bro. Did I learn German yet? No, but I'm working on it slowly. In Virginia, you have to show ID to vote. Yeah, in some states you have to show ID to vote, but in a lot of states you don't, and there's no evidence of voter fraud. And there's so much content out there about voter ID. I do not support voter ID. I believe that there's not a problem. You don't need to fix it. We've had free and fair elections in this country for hundreds of years without voter ID. Voter ID mostly, for the most part, yes, it might help with certain aspects of double verifying somebody, but people are already verified and it will keep people from voting. It will lower the amount of people voting in America. Favorite football player ever is Ed Reed. Allan's next election cycle, he'll be 81. Damn, that's scary to think about. Sam, do you think the election will be razor thin like 2000 or no? No, I don't. I think there will be certain states that'll be razor thin, but I think overall in electoral votes and popular vote, Kamala will crush. Braxton Greenwell says, I want to learn French so I can get chicks. Yeah, women speak a bunch of, you want to get French chicks in particular, French women in particular. Mighty Mouse says, I live in Denmark. We don't have voter ID and have mail-in ballots. There is zero voter fraud. Voter fraud is organized, not individual voters. Yeah, I mean, that's totally true. Again, even Elon's statement that you cannot prove voter fraud, or it's very hard to prove voter fraud because of no voter ID and mail-in voting isn't true. That's just not even true on the face of value. You can prove voter fraud even when those two things exist. I won't lie, I have a little, this is Queen Sarabi, I won't lie, I have a little PTSD from the last debate. I feel like Kamala is in for a rough time. I feel you. There is some real PTSD from that debate, but I think Kamala will be fine. Who's my favorite QB? Lamar Jackson. And also of all time, Lamar Jackson. I've never heard your dad talk about UFOs. Who is asking his thoughts about UFOs? I haven't seen any questions about UFOs. What's my favorite IPA beer? I haven't drank in 9 years, so I can't really answer that question. How would you react if Kamala acts like Biden did in the debate? I mean, it's just not possible. This is not going to happen. She's like 20 years younger than him. Salesforce says, I live in North Korea, no election, no hassle. How are you? You can't be watching this from North Korea. They definitely do not allow you to watch this in North Korea. And I don't think VPNs exist in North Korea. Does the internet even exist in North Korea? I don't think so. No UFO questions. No, I do not believe in UFOs. Short and simple. All right, can somebody just tell me, don't tell me what the score is, can someone just tell me what quarter the Ravens game is in right now? Again, no scores, no leaning this way, plus just what quarter is the Ravens game in right now? Fourth. Okay. Fourth just started, fourth quarter. All right. I might hang on a little bit longer, another like 10 minutes, because I don't want to turn it on and see the score. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Thank you. Aren't you sick of what if questions? A little bit. But it's also kind of part of what we do. You know, when we set this up, we wanted it to be an interactive thing where people are able to ask questions. So it's just part of the job, you know? Don't miss the end of the game, dude. I recorded it, so I want to wait till the game is almost over and then start the recording. What if people stopped asking what if questions? You're funny, LB. North Korea has internet as part of their military. That's how they did the Sony hack after the internet movie. Right. But I guess your average person does not have access to internet in North Korea, right? Do you think the campus protests will spiral out of control again? No. Most annoying repeat question? Oh, there's a lot. I mean, before the prediction, the most annoying one is, when are you calling the keys? What's taking so long? When are you calling the keys? When are you calling the keys? When's your prediction coming out? It's like, chill the F out, you know? Sam, what do you want to talk about? Like right this second or generally in life? What's a simple thing in life that brings you a lot of joy? My dog. North Korea is a lot more advanced than you'd imagine. Yeah, but they don't share that advancement with the general population. People ask about the scandal key. Yeah, I mean, people were asking about the social unrest key a lot, the scandal key a lot, the economy keys. You know, people are constantly asking, and they're like, but people don't think the economy is good. It's like, dude, we've answered this 5 trillion times. You know what I mean? That was a little annoying. Do you think Kamala made the strongest VP pick? It's hard to say. I think she made a strong one. That's what matters. If you could be any animal, which would you choose? A cheetah, because they're fast as fuck, dude. I have a Labradoodle. There's a YouTube channel called Legal Mindset. I believe he streams from North Korea. I'm pretty sure. Interesting. Will you ever show us your dog? Yeah. Here we go. Hold on. Keith, come here, Bubba. Come here. Come here. Listen, the people want to see you. Yeah. Here, come here. Here he is. He was sleeping, so he's a little sleepy. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he gave me a kiss. Big yawn. Big yawn. He was just sleeping. He had a big yawn. How you feeling, Bubs? Say hi to the people. Say hi, I'm Kiko. Another big yawn. Hi, I'm Kiko. It was tough today because it was like 107 degrees, so I couldn't take him for a walk. And it's still 96 degrees outside at 8 o'clock at night, so I can't even take him for a night walk. I've been taking him for night walks recently. But the issue, I didn't realize this in California, man, is the spiders. Like, dude, you walk outside at night in the summer, end of summer, it's like you're just running into spider webs every 2 seconds. It's a nightmare. Would I date a Japanese woman? Yes. It's actually spelled Kiko. Would you ever date someone that isn't a dog person? I mean, as long as they were okay with me having a dog, they don't have to like be like a super dog person for me to date them. My dog looks like my dad. As a communications pro, do you see any problems in Kamala's performance? I would say overall it's solid. I have no major notes for her like public appearances so far. Everybody says she's like a word salad, blah blah blah, and it's like it's not that bad. It's way over exaggerated. How disappointed are you that less than 1% of viewers transferred? It's pretty disappointing, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm used to it by now. I mean, this was my biggest show ever, so. Did I name my dog Kiko? I did. What are we going to do about any Republican in the future elections trying to enact Schedule F in the future? I have no idea what Schedule F is. MAGA is tossing the word salad crap. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. You want to talk about word salad and delivery? Donald Trump may be the worst public speaker, especially presidential public speaker of all time. I mean, his vocabulary is about at a 5th grade level. Especially now, he rambles, he says random shit. I mean, I don't think you want to get in that debate. Word salad Kamala. It's like, dude, have you seen Donald Trump speak? Come on. Would you flirt with Britney Spears if you saw her alone in a bar? That is such a random question. Van Composer says, just watched Astray, which is my short film. Nice film, cinematography and color, very good. Surprised how well it worked with the music. Thank you, Van. I appreciate you watching. Here's my, I hope this is still the, here are my short films, again, for anybody. Did you see Trump admit he lost? I've heard that. Did he really admit he lost? It's pretty wild. I guess that just shows how desperate he is, you know? He's like, all right, fine, I lost. Now, don't think I'm crazy. It's like, it's a little late for that, bro. It's a little late for that. Yeah, it's just a nut strategy. Like, why admit suddenly right? I mean, I know why he's doing it. He's admitting suddenly before the election that he lost because people are so worried that they're going to elect a guy who doesn't accept election results, right? So he's like, okay, I lost. But it's like the damage has been done, bro. It's too late. Do you think MAGA extremists will go away after Trump steps aside? No, they won't go away, but they will lessen. And a lot of like the right wing or Republican talking heads on Fox News or even on the internet, they just pivot to whoever has power. They don't have any actual real truth, personal truth when they speak. They just pivot to whoever or whatever is in, you know, either the midst of the culture wars or whatever politician is the leader of the party. They'll just pivot to whoever that is. What's my favorite niche obscure color? Lavender. Matthew says he probably doesn't want people to think he's a sore loser. Yeah, but people have been thinking that for 4 years already. You know, you make one, you have one interview where you admit you lost, and people are supposed to be like, "Oh, okay, he admitted it, and I totally forgive him." No, you know, all the harm you did, let's just forget it. Not likely. Sammy, they just introduced Coming Up Next, Your Dad, after commercials. All right, with that, I'll say goodbye. I'll let you guys go watch my dad. I'm going to get some food and get ready to watch the Ravens. Thank you all for watching. You know, share the video we did today. I think that was a really informative video. Share it with folks. Thanks for watching. Go Ravens. Thank you, everybody. Good night.